Hey everyone, Chris Patterson here with another book review. Again, I'm trying to give a lot of love to some other indie authors, small press authors out there, just like myself, and kind of give them some accolades that they don't often get because we live in this world where it's because Penguin or Orbit or Tor stamped a stamp of approval on their books are somehow good. And I got to tell you, some of those books aren't very good, and these books that I'm suggesting are really good. So right now, I mean, you could be watching this 3-4 years from now, from the time I record it, but right now we're in a lockdown pandemic, and so a lot of people are trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to figure out what to watch, what to read, and obviously I would suggest to read some good books, right? Last book that I suggested, that I recommended, that I reviewed was Fate Mark series by David Estes. This week I want to recommend and give you my quick review on David Vandyke's Plague War series. Now listen, I know I'm a fantasy author and I typically read fantasy, but I also grew up loving Star Wars, Star Trek. Yes, you can like both. So in the vein of science fiction, apocalyptic fiction, kind of that urban military techno-thriller type fiction, David Vandyke delivers. His first book, Reaper's Run, I started with that book. I haven't talked to the author. You can actually start with either book one or book two and not get lost. They're two separate stories that end up meeting and moving on from there. So that's Skull Shadow is the second book. You can start with either one. Let me show you what Reaper's Run looks like on Amazon. So here you go. Let me exit out of there. Here you go, Reaper's Run on Amazon. As you can see right now, Reaper's Run is always free. So, I mean, when you're taking a look at a book that has over 500 ratings, has an average 4.5 or 4.6 star rating, I would absolutely at least give this a 4.5 or 4.6 star rating. And it's free, guys. You can download this to your Kindle device, and it's going to cost you nothing. That is amazing. You can't get better than that, right? So here's Reaper's Run. Scroll down, take a look at some of the really good reviews. Here's one: well-written and memorable characters. Let's just click on the 5-star reviews here because that's what's going to be most important here. Okay, must-read, romping good time. This book even got a kid who hates reading to beg for my Kindle to finish the book overnight. Listen. I can empathize with those reviews. I actually listened to the book on Audible just because I was going out of town and I was doing some commuting and having talked to the author, told me a little bit about his stuff. And so, I finished the first book. It's not very long, so it's a quick read. It keeps you moving. And then I immediately picked up the second book and finished that one on the same trip. Okay, so this is a great book. One of the things that I really love about the Plague Wars series is Plague Wars series. It takes a very geopolitical look at what would happen. And again, some of us are experiencing this right now with COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown. What would happen with some sort of epidemic? What would happen politically, right? I think sometimes we pick up when we read post-apocalyptic literature, which can be great. We pick up after the apocalypse has happened. We pick up in the aftermath. We don't get a whole lot of we don't get a big look at what's going on during the pandemic, what's going on geopolitically, and either David Vandyke has been involved in cybersecurity or some sort of industry like that, or he's really done his research, because the writing in here in regards to what would happen politically, people trying to hack into cybersecurity, he just knows his stuff. And so that makes the book just so much better because you're reading it and you feel like it's real, right? I hate reading books. No, I take that back. I don't hate reading books where you hear some information and you just know that it's probably not true. You know, it's like when you watch a TV show and it's about medicine, and maybe you're a nurse or a paramedic or a doctor, and you're like, that wouldn't happen, right? So you don't get that from this book in this series, okay? So I'm 8 books into the series, a total of 12 books. So I'm super excited to finish the last 4 books, but I didn't want to finish those 4 books before I left this review. So again, if we go to Mr. Vandyke's Amazon page here, you can see a bunch of other stuff. The other cool thing that I found about David Vandyke, and I haven't read any of these books yet, but he is also teamed up with sci-fi giant B.D. Larson on a 5-book series. And so I'm really, really excited to read those as well. And then I've also heard really good things about his mystery thriller series. You can see that here, Loose Ends. I've heard really, really good things about that series as well. So just kind of scrolling through here, California Core and PI Mystery Series. Like I said, I've heard really, really good things about that. Again, teaming up with B.D. Larson. Oh, I'm sorry, I guess there's 10 books. Again, crazy. But I'm sure they're very, very well written. And like I said, I can't wait to read those books because Plague Wars series is really, really good. Okay, so guys, make sure that you subscribe to the channel to get updates on other reviews, other books that I've read. You know, I know there's nothing worse than wondering if a book is good or not. You pick it up and all of a sudden it's terrible. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what's good and what's not. I generally have a pretty good taste for books and literature and movies. So you know, if you just want to get my ideas and my suggestions, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm also going to have in the description below, I will have all of David Vandyke's information as far as you know, where to pick up his books on Amazon, website and stuff like that, so that you can check out his stuff. And again, you know, support small press, support indie authors. I mean, David Vandyke was a Hugo finalist, so you know, it's not like he's a new name on the block, but you know, we self-published indie authors, small press authors. We need a lot of love, guys, and so make sure you support those guys. And a lot of times, you know, most of the time they're producing some really, really good material. And again, that's no different with David Vandyke's Plague Wars series. So again, subscribe, look in the description below so you can check out his books. And until next time, happy reading.